The threat of the ultimatum weighed heavily on the air, shattering the fragile equilibrium of our marriage. My spouse, with whom I had sworn to live forever, had given me a terrible ultimatum. Use my $2 million inheritance to construct a home or risk the inevitable divorce. I had no idea that this request would lead to the discovery of a tragic web of lies, secrets, and unstable ground upon which our love was based. Sarah and I had been living the good life. We had gone on a trip together, sworn a lifetime of shared ambitions and objectives, and met in college, falling madly in love. In a little ceremony, we exchanged vows, pledging to stick by one another through good times and bad. I had no idea that those promises would be pushed to the very test. The storm started when I found out I had inherited a sizable sum of money, $2 million, from a distant relative. The windfall appeared to be a godsend, a financial boost that would allow us to secure our future and realize our aspirations. But what should have been a joyful celebration took a surprising turn. My husband James dropped a bombshell one evening that would rock our marriage to its core as the sun sank beyond the horizon, creating long shadows over our living room. As he spoke the words that would alter everything, his once warm gaze had turned cold and calculated. "Build a house with the inheritance money, or it's over between us," he said in a tone that hinted at no compromise. His ultimatum sent a shockwave through the room, and for a split second, it felt as though time had stopped. The man with whom I had shared my aspirations, desires, and vulnerabilities was suddenly putting our relationship in jeopardy. I felt as though I couldn't possibly make the choices he was presenting me with because of the weight of it all. The tension between us grew as the days went by. James withered away, engulfed in an obsession I had never seen in him with financial prosperity. Late nights became tense conversations as I tried to understand how his priorities had drastically changed. The man I had fallen in love with appeared to be a stranger, motivated by a hunger that may destroy our bond. My thoughts was racing with bewilderment and desperation as I tried to process the ultimatum. There was a part of me that wanted to push back, to maintain the integrity of our marriage. However, the psychological burden of a possible divorce combined with my fear of losing the man I loved left me feeling stuck in a terrifying situation. I went to my YouTube channel, which had been a safe refuge for sharing experiences and self-expression, in an attempt to find clarity. I found that talking to my audience about the problems in our marriage helped me to deal with the intense feelings that were threatening to overcome me. With users expressing their personal tales of love, grief, and the difficulties of managing relationships, the comments area turned into an online support community. As the internet community came together in support of me and encouraged me to value myself more than material belongings, I started to feel strong inside. The channel turned into a lifeline and a source of empowerment, giving me the confidence to approach James and ask him to explain his unexpected ultimatum. When the truth eventually came to light, it was even more terrible than I had feared. James had been hiding from me in a complex web of debts, bad investments, and financial difficulties. He saw the bequest as a lifeline that would help him escape the financial hole he had fallen into, in addition to a chance to construct his ideal home. I was conflicted about whether to feel sorry for him after learning of this or to feel that his deceit was betrayed. Our marriage had been founded on a foundation of trust that had collapsed, and the future appeared bleak. However, the confidence to stand up for what really mattered and the value of self-respect were illuminated by the power I found via sharing my story online. The voyage of resilience and self-discovery progressed along with the plot. The danger to destroy my world served as the impetus for my renewed strength and knowledge that worldly belongings should never be used as a means of controlling love. Once a place where I recorded my life, the YouTube channel evolved into a source of inspiration for people going through comparable difficulties. Ultimately, the choice was evident. I made the decision to put my health and dignity above the demands of a love poisoned by deceitful money. Even though it was traumatic, the divorce turned into a vital step in my quest to rebuild my life and recover my identity from the shadow of dishonesty. Those who were moved by the human spirit's tenacity were drawn to the adventure, which I documented on my channel. With people sharing their experiences of fortitude, recovery, and the unyielding conviction that genuine love should never have a cost, the comment section evolved into a supportive community. With the end of my marriage to James, a new chapter in my life began, one of empowerment, self-love, and the understanding that sometimes the most important lessons come from the agony of letting go. The YouTube channel remained a source of inspiration, connection, and a reminder that even in the darkest circumstances, there is a road towards light. It is now a monument to the transforming power of sharing our true story. I had to start my life over following the divorce, which was a difficult undertaking. Though James' ultimatum continued to reverberate, I became stronger every day because to the encouragement I received from my online network and my innate tenacity. I started the healing process by accepting my alone, a place where I could go back on the things I had learned and reclaim my identity. The YouTube channel has changed over time, from being a place to vent about a failing marriage to becoming a place for self-improvement and empowerment. Together with me on this self-discovery journey, viewers shared their own stories and offered supportive remarks. I looked to the experience of people who had gone before me for guidance as I negotiated the difficulties of beginning afresh. Working along with other video creators, life coaches, and mental health specialists allowed the channel to become a helpful tool for anyone looking for support following a breakup. The comment section transformed into a haven for people starting again, a community of resiliency and shared experiences. Among the emotional upheaval, an unexpected bright spot appeared. The $2 million inheritance, which had previously caused conflict, served as the starting point for a fresh start. I chose to invest the money sensibly in order to secure my financial future and to avoid giving in to the pressure of building a house in order to save my marriage. Making the choice gave me a renewed sense of empowerment and allowed me to take charge of my own story and financial future. This change in emphasis, which was captured on the YouTube channel, was toward financial literacy, wise investing, and the value of independence. The genuineness of my trip drew in the audience, who welcomed the channel's progress as it reflected the many phases of my life. Surprising relationships emerged in the midst of the personal development and empowerment. With viewers who had followed my path from heartbreak to perseverance, new connections were forged. Genuine ties and a feeling of community may be fostered in the online environment, as demonstrated by the camaraderie that resulted from the shared experiences. The scars from the past started to heal as time went on. The divorce evolved from being a conclusion to becoming the beginning of a life full with opportunities. Once a record of suffering, the YouTube channel is now a symbol of the transformational potential that comes from accepting vulnerability and growing from adversity. By a strange stroke of luck, the channel's popularity brought opportunities that I never would have imagined. A new chapter of influence and effect was made possible by partnerships with empowerment-focused groups, speaking engagements on resilience and self-love, and collaborations with like-minded creators. I was always appreciative of the internet community's steadfast support, which had helped me get through my worst times. The comment section turned into a monument to the tenacity of a group of people who were resolved to overcome hardship as a whole, not just one person. The wounds from the past evolved into badges of honor as the years went by, representing the resilience that sprang from the ashes of sadness. The YouTube channel persisted in encouraging people to embrace their experiences with bravery and resiliency, serving as a living example of the transformative power of sharing genuine tales. This chapter ended with a modest acknowledgement of the journey from heartbreak to self-discovery, rather than a big, dramatic finish. After James, life turned into a blank canvas, ready to be filled with fresh experiences, introspection, and the steadfast conviction that the most potent love tale is the one we write for ourselves. As I proceeded to share my developing tale with the world, the YouTube channel evolved into more than just a venue for me to tell stories. Rather, it served as a monument to the limitless opportunities that present themselves when we choose resilience over surrender and self-love over compromise. The narrative of recovering from heartbreak, captured in comments and pixels, became a source of inspiration for people still making their way through the twisting roads of their own life-changing experiences. My life's path took unanticipated detours as I chronicled each new chapter on my YouTube channel, exposing the boundless possibilities that lay outside the walls of a failing marriage. Once a place where people might express their vulnerability and suffering, the platform has come to symbolize the unbounded strength inherent in the human spirit. As the story progressed, the emphasis switched to embracing discovery and delight. Tearful confessions gave way to travel vlogs, and do-it-yourself projects became occasions to celebrate one's newfound freedom. Once a virtual support group, the comment section was now humming with joy and pleasure as viewers saw the woman transform from a survivor of heartbreak to someone who embraces the colorful tapestry of life. One video in particular stands out because it shows the time I bought a little but lovely home that was a haven filled with the laughter of self-discovery. The importance lay not just in the physical elements but also in the representation of taking back my independence. The comment section was flooded with congrats and personal triumph tales from the online community, which was thrilled to see this physical example of perseverance. Unexpected relationships emerged during this voyage. The reach of my channel was expanded through partnerships with other video creators who were motivated by similar principles and a dedication to telling stories that empower people. The group of like-minded people resolved to support one another transcended the virtual world and formed a network. The tale reached a poignant turning point with the release of the video Reflections, a journey from heartbreak to healing. I went back to the emotional upheaval that characterized the first few months of my YouTube career in this reflective essay. Viewers recounted their personal transformations and expressed gratitude for the shared trip in the comments section, which turned into a communal meditation on personal progress. The channel's influence spread outside of the digital sphere as it developed. A new chapter of influence was initiated with invitations to speak at events and take part in panel discussions on empowerment and resilience. Once drawn to the drama of grief, the audience now tuned in for empowerment, inspiration, and a reminder that the most meaningful stories in life are frequently forged from the ashes of hardship. This life-changing narrative ended with a string of subdued triumphs rather than a grand finale. In the context of personal development and self-love, the once raw and agonizing scars of heartbreak become insignificant. Initially created as a platform for catharsis, the YouTube channel has transformed into a celebration of empowerment, resiliency, and the beauty that arises when someone dares to rebuild after a storm. Over time, the $2 million inheritance that initiated the turbulent journey evolved into a symbol of the invaluable significance of self-discovery rather than monetary gain. Once a prerequisite to preserving a marriage, the house became a sanctuary for self-reliance and genuineness. The final episodes of the YouTube series turned into meditations on the value of telling one's story bravely and authentically, the transformational force of vulnerability, and the strength that exists within every heart. Watchers expressed gratitude for the shared journey that motivated them to take on their own issues head-on, and the comments area evolved into a place for celebrating shared achievements. The screen went black at the end of the chapter, indicating a new beginning rather than a finish. Despite being a record of the creator's personal struggles, the YouTube channel grew to become a source of inspiration for people attempting to make sense of the confusing and challenging world of life. The narrative, which went from tragedy to healing, resonated with individuals who dare to think that the human spirit is remarkably resilient, capable of growth, and capable of creating a life that is joyful and purposeful, regardless of the circumstances.